call the meeting to order. It's for the monitoring committee. It is 4:02 p.m.
All right.
on, let's see, 2/24,
Okay.
26.
Thank you. Thank you. Oops, I still see a few coming in. I'll try to watch them and y'all at the same time. Okay, so we didn't have a whole bunch to talk about, but still needed to get together. First thing I wanted to go over was the TWC audit resolution report. So we talked about this at the last board meeting, and sure enough, the day we met, we got it that afternoon. So I wanted to share that document with you. Our audit resolution report was cleared. The actions that we've taken satisfied the needs of corrective action for them to close out the report. So we're done with that. Of course, they'll still continue to monitor that when they come to see us in May, but it's a final closure for the last May report. So that was good. So any questions on it? We were happy to see that. Yay. I also wanted to give you an update on EO monitoring. That's something that's taking place now. It started in January. We're a little behind on getting documents uploaded on it. That's just reviewing each center's EO compliance with, making sure our posters and ADA compliance with the properties. Um, Doing a little survey for them and another little checklist for them. So we're getting that finished up this month. So we will eventually will have a report for EO monitoring to present to you. But so far everything looks fairly good. We do have some repeat things from time before, that are but we'll go over that next time when we get the final report. So I did want you to know that that is going on right now. Yesterday, we had a child care TA visit where the state came down and the provider of our system that we're using, the Kinder system, there was someone here with that as well. It was supposed to be a 2-day thing, but we finished it all in one day. I would like to say that those in attendance learned new things with the system that you can't always pick up on when they're going through. They have office hours that you can get on there and ask questions. But so it was nice being able to get someone from the vendor that does the system to share with us some other insights to that. So one of the things that we learned is through the TX3C, the Texas Child Care System. I don't know if Kayla's on here or not. I don't know if I had her on
I'm
here.
here and my children
Okay.
are home, so please forgive any
Oh,
static in the background.
okay. Well, I'll try to zip through it so you don't have to speak if you don't want to. So there were parts of the system, we're still been dealing with this for over a year now. The new system for the child care case management and payment processing and things like that, and for providers and for parents to sign in for their attendance and things like that. So things that didn't used to work, now they have gotten fixed. So I really think it's going to help our child care workers locally and are in with Rolling Plains, because now they can just let the system send things to the customer and the customer can upload directly into their own file by using this system. So I really think it's going to help them a lot. So to me, it was a great visit. Like I said, they gave us some insight. Um, that's all I can remember right now. So if anybody else wants to add anything in about that, I really think it was good.
I know like the first year definitely was rocky for sure. I think that they have listened to, our issues and, our hard spots and kind of taken that to heart and worked on it as efficiently as possible. They communicated yesterday and we learned some new things. And again, I think it's going to be more streamlined and like more organized, user friendly. They still have some things that they're working on, but for the most part, I feel like we're in a spot now where we can see a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to actually being able to generate the system the way that they intended in the first place. So
Yeah,
it's kind of relieving.
it was very good. So
Yeah, and
I was kind of glad.
that's what I was going to say. They actually allowed for the staff to kind of take them through, how do you really work a case? Can you show me what you do? So they were able to give that in-person feedback. And I do think the frontline staff learned some things that's going to really help with their processes in doing eligibility and working these cases. So I really feel like it was a positive visit. They took a lot of feedback from us as well, recommendations of, in a perfect world, can you make this change? And so there's some things out there, maybe for in the future, that would hopefully help things be quicker for the staff. And this is statewide, of course, not just our board. So I feel like it was a really positive, well worth visit. So
Yeah.
For sure.
And they're continuing to go meet with other boards through mid-April. And then they will put out a best practices thing at the end of it so that we may all, learn new ways of or more efficient ways of doing things. So it was good.
Yeah.
Glad they came. Glad I
too.
sat through it. Next on my agenda was the DSA, which DS Smith and Associates. That's our external monitors that we have at the board that do our fiscal and our program monitoring. Of course, as I mentioned, we're going to having our TWC visit in May, so we have to get their monitoring done before TWC gets here. So they're working on that right now. Part of it too that came up in the last TWC audit was they had some different ruling about the single audit report. So we made sure that Diaz did that as a separate report, not embedded in their work papers of their regular fiscal report. So that one, I hate this toolbar up here because then you can't get to it. Okay, so we've got their report here. It was one thing that Lisa and I had to review and sign off on. We also shared this with Rolling Plains so they could see the information that was reviewed. And of course, they had to supply documents for them also for the review. There were no issues notated, so it was just the action of doing the single audit on them as required. So I know this was attached to the invite, so you should have been able to review it if you had any questions on it, but there were no issues. A lot of stuff here. Let me see if it's at the end. Yeah. So that was it. Any questions on it? The Rolling Plains have any questions? So here it is. No findings or question costs indicated. So
I just wondered, I'm like, I wonder if my auditors will be excited that they got reviewed this thoroughly. They're in a pool, so they get peer reviewed all the time anyways, but
well, you can share it with them.
well, they'll see it when they come in June.
Okay. So that was good. And again, we will be sharing this with the full board, just, because we need to have that presentation as well. So it is part of our board packet for Thursday, just so they're aware. And as far as Equus, since Lisa, you might have to correct me if I get this wrong, since they are a for-profit, there's not a single audit, but we do have actions that we take with them as a for-profit. We have to do the fiscal assessment, the integrity review before getting the next contract. We review their work throughout the year. if we have to do a closeout with them, then that would be another step on what would be required to work with the Equus. So it's my understanding, since they are for profit, that a single audit does not apply to them as in this format.
That is correct. And of course, they do their own audit. Equus has their own internal audit as well.
In which they, send over those reports too that the that Diaz looks at as well. So also right now, Diaz is in the middle of doing their fiscal and program reviews. I know they've already asked for samples for fiscal, and I think we've got samples for program. And y'all may have to correct me. I can't remember if they pulled childcare files yet. They did, didn't they, Donna? For program.
They pulled the samples and we have until Monday to upload everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, we're getting all their things ready for them. And then next week we will have a program entry. Well, not next week. I think it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Feels like it should be next week. Tomorrow we will have an entrance on the program side of it. So far, I have not heard anything from the fiscal side of it if they want to do any kind of entrance. So we will have that tomorrow. So that's good. And again, hopefully we'll get all that done and completed and finalized before we have to upload things for the TWC review. So it's looking good. And I think that is all I have. That's all I put on my agenda.
Well, and I thought of something after you
Okay.
put this out. I'm so sorry, Sharon.
Mhm.
Our fiscal agent, they have requested for their audit as well.
Yeah.
Was it last week? I had to provide things to Edgen, Parkman, Fleming, and Fleming. So we can have that on the next, and I don't really know when they're going to do their entrance, but they've started requesting documents. And if you're a board member, an officer, you actually got an email to fill out a fraud form actually too. So I know some of mine did that and have responded that they've sent that back in. So this is the monitoring season.
Mhm.
Busy, busy time.
It is, it is. Okay. So next on the agenda is Darla's report. Here we go.
Alrighty, so it's looking pretty good this time around. We finished out in the hundreds, except for Reese, and I'm really proud of the Reese team because the first time I monitored back in Q2, our initial error rate was, or accuracy rate was 68%, and then the final was 75%. And then the third quarter, our initial accuracy rate was 81%, and the final was 85. Well, I just completed the review for Q4, and at the initial accuracy rate is 89%. So once they do corrections, we're going to be in the final accuracy rate in the 90 percentile. So I'm very excited about
Excellent.
that.
So is it like one area that seems to be the issue?
Kind of trying to understand the three contact process.
Hmm.
I think I've got a clear understanding, and that helped the error rate go down.
Okay. Very good. Y'all doing good.
And that's it for me.
Okay.
Any questions?
Not hearing any. Let's see if I
All
can
righty.
get this report to close. Okay, and this one is a child care report for their monitoring.
I'll speak just because Tiffany is not feeling well, so I don't want her to be coughing and stuff on here.
Mhm.
Total cases reviewed for December is 48, with an average monthly accuracy rate of 87.5%. In January, it looks like they reviewed total cases 18 with a 94.4% accuracy rate, and then no disallowed cost.
Okay. I was curious, I mean, like here, the data entry was an issue in December, but it's good to see, I mean, of course, there's less cases, but it's good to see that that's gone down too. So I know it's a matter of staff getting used to what's expected and things like that. So that's a good turnaround there too. So anyone have questions on this? Want to see anything different on this? Okay, not hearing anything.
Well, I do have a question.
Whoops.
I do have a question. Sorry. I was just trying to process what I'm looking at.
Okay.
And so on that report, I think you indicated that you had looked at 18 cases, so 17 with no critical errors. So that
Mhm.
means that you had one case that had a critical error. So what would you consider a critical error?
Sorry, I'm trying to find my speaker.
I'm
Is
sorry.
it these items that the paperwork was wrong or the data entry
Yes,
was
the
wrong? or
paperwork and the
those are-
data entry. Yes,
Okay. But those are correctable then, so not like eligibility issues or
correct.
stuff you can fix then. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And like I said yesterday on the TA visit, we did hear more stuff too that's going to help us out on the fiscal side with payments and the way the system operates. You know, there's a certain sequence of things to happen that don't affect past stuff. So I know that's kind of wacky, but it was still good. And I appreciate Tiffany for being able to, although she wasn't feeling well, she was still able to show the visitors, you know, how they do things. So it was very much appreciated. I kind of thought they were going to go sit with individual staff, but she just had to do all the show and tell. All right. Well, that was the end of our report. Is there any other discussion? Not hearing anything. Of course, I like to do the email polls, and I will have to let you know that I go by generally what Rhonda says is a good time for her.
Oh,
Makes
you're
sense.
blaming me.
No.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. You know, I want her
Yeah.
to be here.
I'm
so,
sorry, everyone, if
she's-
this time wasn't great. No.
The board
Yeah.
members are my priority on this. I'm just hoping the rest of y'all can fall into suit. But I do send it to you all just so that's the way I organize it anyway.
Well,
Okay.
thank you. All right. Well, we'll adjourn. It is 4:20 p.m. and we'll see everyone or most people on Thursday for our
Yes.
board meeting.
Yes. See you Thursday.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks
Have
Have
for
a
your
great
time.
evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.